Welcome back, folks. Today I have 14.5 extra Tesla tips, tricks and hidden features, from brake burnishing in service mode to how to change your lock sound to something obnoxious and make the neighbours laugh. And yes, I still guarantee you will learn something whether you're brand new to Tesla or an experienced owner. First up, ladies and gents, a starter for 10. You get your gorgeous Tesla home and you click on the app button, and there is an abundance of apps here. You just don't need this many. So how do you get rid of them? Right, there's a quick shortcut button here which takes you to the settings, or if you want to go into your car, go all the way down to audio, scroll all the way down, and they're listed here. So let's remove everything we don't need. You have to keep a minimum of 3 though for some reason. So there you go, the important ones: radio, YouTube music, and I don't need to explain why I'm keeping that one. Now then, we click this button again, and there you go, nice and tidy, lovely jubbly. Next up, you gorgeous people, is keeping your posterior at the optimum operating temperature. So currently, there's nothing here. If you click in your apps, there is the right seat here, which is the one that I'm in, driving on the correct side of the road. If you click and hold it, it follows your finger, see? And then bring it down here, the temperature kindly nudges over to the right and you can drop it. Now it is in that position. If you have a passenger, then their one will be here as well. So now you can click down here and perfectly control the temperature of our posteriors. All right, folks, next one is a bit of a laugh, and you've got to be careful where you are because this is loud. So customizable lock sounds, and I figured it out. So I've got a couple of live demos for you. So either you can come into your car here, go to locks, go all the way to the bottom, and customizable lock sound, and it brings you into the toy box. And here is the boombox section. So if I click USB, these are all the different customizable locks. I'll try and hold the speaker outside so you can hear them. So a bit of applause. Prison door shutting, and they're very loud. However, you can customize your own. So here you go. So for the old school fans, I know I'm now driving an electric and Mr. Clarkson would hate that, but here we go. That is wildly noisy. Here's one for the Star Wars fans. Right, final one before the neighbours kill me. If you don't know what this is, go and buy yourself a PlayStation 1 and Final Fantasy 7 immediately. Right, I'm turning all them off now. They are really, really loud. And the most important thing is you're probably thinking, how do I do it? How do I do it? Right, let's go to the computer and I'll show you exactly how to do it. The hardest thing about the whole process is in the newer cars, if you've got an adult sized hand, trying to get the USB back in is a nightmare. Okay, here we go. So bring up your web browser and Google, I use Tesla Deck, and just Google lock sounds and it all comes up here. There'll be loads of websites you can use, but as long as they're in a WAV format, as it says here, you are golden. Categories, take your pick. Give it a second to load up and you'll see the Final Fantasy Victory Fanfare that we just played then. Let's do something different. Let's do a Mario Kart Let's Go. So if you just download, it just needs to be smaller than 1 megabyte. So it's only 94 kilobytes. Perfect. So for the car to recognize it, you need to rename it Lock Chime, just like that. And then cut this out of here. And then you can see here we have our Tesla drive. The only thing in here, this is the USB, is Tesla Cam. It doesn't need to go in there. You can just paste it right there. And that is it. System, unfortunately, is only clever enough to recognize 1 at a time. So you'll need to just delete them and refresh them as you go. Right, go and annoy the neighbors. Right, next up is something for the stats geeks amongst us. So the moment you get your car, even before you drive it out of the collection center, go to trips, and this bottom one, click on trip B and it gives you the option to rename it. Put in something like lifetime. Call it whatever you like, but I call mine lifetime. So now I know that this one down the bottom is everything I have ever covered. Now moving on to the next tip in one very smooth transition, these slidey bits of stats down here. So within the trips, you have these ticks. I have current drive, since last charge, and then my lifetime one. And because I actually have the lifetime one, I can untick the odometer because of, look, the distance is exactly the same, so I don't need this. So now down here, when I scroll right, which not a lot of people know you can do this, and you can go down and get rid of it, you've got whatever's being played, then you have these stats. See, I've got these. If I have the odometer highlighted, it just creates another one and squeezes them up, but look, the number's exactly the same, so I don't need it. And then the final one is the tyre pressures. Before anyone moans, very cold here at the moment, and I haven't moved in a while. If I was to move again, these bits of writing would disappear because they were only registered 1 hour ago. They would top up and it would be back up to about 41, 42. So no moaning about tyre pressures today. Next up on our list, ladies and gentlemen, is something a little bit more technical, but it is very much needed because of the regen braking on this car is so phenomenal. You might accumulate a bit of rust on your brakes from time to time. So we need to enter the service mode. Click and hold whatever car you have and you'll see a little white pop. Boop, there it is. And it'll ask for the password. I think it's the world's worst kept secret that the password is service to enter the Tesla service center. It gives you a little warning. We're all professionals here though, we know what we're doing. You can enter there. So there are lots and lots of nice colourful things in here to look at all day long. However, the one thing I want to draw your attention to, chassis, brakes, brake burnishing. Now then, that's the official term. Again, another warning, don't you worry, Mr. Tesla, we are all professionals. So brake burnishing, it walks you through the guided process of how to achieve this. You can do all this just like the professional you are. You can then stop the guided process and no one will ever be any of the wiser than to leave this menu, click the little spanner down here and click and hold the exit button. Next up, guys, a very handy tip for your mobile phone. Excuse the very fluffy looking comfortable cat. So adding Tesla widgets, click and hold. I have a Samsung, if you have an iPhone it works as well. Widgets, scroll all the way down to Tesla, there she is. And you have two options, a small one and a large one. A small one just gives you a quick overview. The large one actually gives you some of the shortcut buttons that you use. Select the car that you want to use, and there you go. The widget appears on the screen, name of my car, current battery, state of charge, my 5 shortcut options, because if you watch my previous hints and tips, you'll realize how you can get 5. And if you want to jump to the app, give it a push, and it takes you to the full proper app. Next up, ladies and gents, this is in the UK, believe it or not. Here is a load of snow. If you want to open up the boot of your Tesla, make sure that you wipe a lot of this area clean. Otherwise, you open your boot and there's a very good chance that happens. I better get a like and subscribe for this one. This is minging. Next up is something to do with parking that not a lot of Tesla owners know about. So, you're driving, you get home. You either tap the P to park or you take your seatbelt off and it'll do it for you. However, this time when I tap, I'm then going to hold the car afterwards and you'll see here an extra parking brake will pop up that's been applied. Tesla, they do talk about this in the manuals, but they're a bit elusive on exactly what it does. And even Reddit can't really give me proper answers for it. So let's have a go and listen as well. There's definitely a second mechanical noise. So push and now hold. There. Look at the parking brake that's now come up, and there was definitely a second mechanical noise under the car. So if anyone knows exactly what is going on with that, this is my question to you. By all means, put it in the comments below. Right, next up, guys, is autopilot, and this is where I'm giving myself half a point for a tip, because I have spoken about this in my previous one, but I understand it a hell of a lot more now, and I can advise you guys on it a lot better. So we're on the motorway. Let's go into autopilot. So I currently have auto steer selected. While you're driving, do not downgrade it, because if you downgrade it, you cannot go back up until you pull over and park. So don't do that. However, single click and double click. So anyone that's just picked up their Tesla, if it's 2025, I feel really sorry for you because you do not have this option. However, anyone on the planet that's using auto steer, so you don't have full self-drive, you have autopilot or enhanced autopilot, then use auto steer and you must have it in double click, and I will show you why in a second. With single click and double click, you can change these while you're driving, as you can see, but there's no reason to. Keep it in double click and I will show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so we're in double click. If you still want to only click it once, I'm now clicking my right wheel once. There you go. I can still engage the adaptive cruise control where I'm following this car in front no closer than 2 car lengths, which is a bit close in these situations. So let's back that off to say 5, and it's maintaining the speed for me. However, if I was to now double click, there you go. The car now takes over doing everything. My hands are here, see. However, we want to go past that car. If I now indicate in double click, I indicate I can take over the steering. However, you see here, the car has maintained the speed and the adaptive side, so I won't hit at the back of him. If I have it on single click, plus all of the new cars that people are picking up now, the moment that you indicate, so look, let's engage it again here. So now I want to pull back in. So if I just indicate here, it disengages the steering, but the speed is still maintained. If I have it in single click, so let's just disengage everything and start again. So there you go. So let's put it in single click now. Let's engage. So single click engages everything. Look, it's done the blue lines for auto steer and that. However, it's a little bit early to overtake that guy, but I'm going to simulate it. I want to overtake someone. If I indicate now, I've lost everything. Look, I've lost the auto steer and I've lost my speed. No good. Double click, double click. If Tesla are watching this, if Elon's watching this, please bring back the double click option for everyone. It is far better for everyone outside of America if you do not have full self-drive. Please, please, please. We all know how important Tesla cameras are and to make sure they're working correctly. So to do this, come to the service and go to camera preview. You don't need to calibrate anything, but let's have a look at them and see if you can see any obvious bits of dirt. Holy moly, who is that chap in my car? Be careful of his long pole. Anyway, no. Right, back to the topics. Click quickly on the buttons at the top. Okay, main camera, that looks good to me. A wide view of the front as well. Yeah, look, left door pillar. Ooh, someone has clearly got some taste. Next, left fender, very American. Fender, bumper in this side of the pond, whatever you want to call it. Right door pillar, still looking nice. Right fender, yeah, looking good. Ah, one of the cats, Sassy. Oh, bless her. And then the rear view, looking nice. The rear view does get a little bit dirty from time to time, but that's nice and that's not too bad at the moment, not too bad at all. Anyway, that is how you can check if your cameras are looking okay. So next up, still on the same lines as cameras, are your blind spot cameras. If I indicate, it gives me a gorgeous picture on the screen, which is so helpful. I can move it if I don't want it there, because when you're driving, you might not want it there, you might not want it there. There's also a little X. If I push the X, it does disappear, but do not worry, you can get it back. The next time you indicate, it does come back just like that. Also, this is extremely important because if I wanted to go left and there was a car on the left that was moving, obviously not at the moment because he's not moving, it would be a right jaggedy red lines would come up here, very eye-catching, and the car's basically telling me, do not turn left. Now, if for some reason that camera is not being displayed, come into your settings, go to display, and there it is. Automatic blind spot camera. Lovely jubbly. Now then, you've got your Tesla home and you need to set up some kind of home charging. So come into here. If you go to charging, you can access it this way as well. There's a schedule button here. There is the schedule. If you click this though, boop, it does take you to that schedule. Preconditioning, I wouldn't bother too much about that. You can deal with that on your phone when you wake up in the morning. Charging, here we are, and it's at the current location. That's quite important because the car does differentiate between different places. So charge, let's set up a charging schedule. So I want it to start at midnight because that's when my cheap stuff starts, and I want it to end by 7 because that's when my cheap stuff finishes. I want it every night of the week, and I want it to repeat. Done. It is as easy as that. Next up, I'm going to bring you down to the charging pad. So if you made the decision to buy a small Samsung flip phone like I did, it doesn't actually fit. So to charge, as long as it plays ball, it needs to be about there. So to make up for this lack of height that it has, I think because I'm stupidly tall, maybe I just bought a tiny phone, I went out and sourced a little black rubber, behave yourselves, just to prop the phone up. Or you could just buy a normal size phone and be done with it all and it would work normally. There is a new option though, coming back to the screen. If you go into your settings and you go to charging, this has recently been added. You can actually turn it off, because if you do have your phone sat down there all the time, it's obviously not great for them just to be charging small amounts all of the time. And now, ladies and gents, thank you for watching all my hints and tips, but now the serious one that everyone must know about Teslas. So the emergency door releases. If you're sat in the front like I am, or in the passenger seat, then you have them here. This top one can be pulled and it will open. And on the passenger side as well, in front of the window operator, you have one over there. However, let's jump into the back and I will show you what I mean. So I find myself now teleported to the back of the car. The emergency releases, look, it doesn't exist there. Or on my side, it doesn't exist there. So how do I get out? Well, in the door bins, there's a piece of cloth there you can see that just comes out. So let me just put my phone down, pull that out, and look, there is your emergency release. Now for science and you guys at home, pull. Hopefully the window comes down and doesn't shatter. There we go, and you are out. That is an important hint and tip as anything else that I've covered in this video today. Right then, folks, if you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, give it a quick like. YouTube now thinks you're going to want to watch this video, or click on my lovely face up there and subscribe to the channel. Catch you at the next one. Cheers, guys.